A man is sleeping rough near an abandoned amusement park. Jolted awake by a deafening noise overhead, a squadron of fighter jets tearing across the sky like the country is already at war. He doesn't know it yet, but he's about to become one of the last functioning adults left in Tokyo. His name is Suzuki, and this is the day everything falls apart. Rewind a few days. Suzuki is 35 years old and going nowhere. He spent decades trying to get his own manga published and has nothing to show for it except a dead-end job as someone else's assistant, getting talked down to by co-workers who don't respect him. At home, his girlfriend is fed up he can't even cover rent. He mooches off her constantly. And the one thing he won't give up is the fantasy that he's secretly the hero of his own story. He even owns a real shotgun bought for research, which he's never had the guts to actually fire at anything living. After getting rejected by the manga company yet again, his girlfriend throws him out completely. Suzuki has nowhere to go and crashes at the studio overnight. Then his phone rings. She's calling to apologize. Thrilled, he rushes back to her place the next morning with breakfast in hand, ready to patch things up. The door is locked. She won't answer. He peers through the mail slot and watches his girlfriend slowly rise off the bed, then collapse to the floor and then start twitching and crawling toward the door at an angle no human body should bend. The second the door opens, she's on him, biting down hard on his hand. Luckily, her teeth chip off completely on impact, sparing him from infection. In the struggle, Suzuki accidentally knocks her into something sharp on the floor. Horrified at what just happened and what she's become, he grabs his things and runs. Outside, the city is already unraveling. Jets are screaming overhead, people are sprinting in every direction, and in the middle of all of it, actual zombies, tearing into anyone who gets too close. A police officer rushes towards Suzuki, seemingly to help, except the officer has already turned too. Suzuki bolts. Desperate to get out, he finds a cab with the driver asleep at the wheel. A woman tries to jump in with him, and just as they're climbing in, a third man, calm, well-dressed, clearly hiding something, gets in beside them. The cab pulls away right as the chaos catches up to where they were standing. On the radio, the news confirms it. All of Tokyo has fallen. That's when Suzuki notices something's wrong with the man next to him. He'd already been bitten before getting in the car. The transformation kicks in mid-ride. He turns, bites the driver, and lunges at Suzuki next. At the worst possible moment, the driver throws open the back door, giving Suzuki the opening to kick the zombie out of the cab entirely. The danger isn't over. The driver is mid-transformation too, and the cab rockets to terrifying speed, completely out of control. Suzuki grabs the woman next to him, a teenage girl named Hiromi, and pulls her into the back seat just as the driver fully turns and starts attacking them both. Seconds later, the car slams into something and flips. Seatbelts save both their lives. They crawl out to find the entire highway gridlocked and overrun. Hiromi checks her phone and finds something useful buried in the panic. The virus apparently can't survive extreme cold. That points them to one obvious destination: Mount Fuji, visible in the distance. They start walking immediately, trekking until dark and sheltering for the night in a half-collapsed temple. The next morning, Suzuki notices something he wishes he hadn't: a bite mark on Hiromi's neck. He panics and points the gun at her. She explains, calm despite the situation, that she was bitten by an infected baby 2 days ago and still hasn't turned, though she has no idea why she hasn't. Suzuki, clearly not as ruthless as the hero he imagines himself to be, can't bring himself to do anything. He decides to wait and see what happens, telling himself he'll deal with it if she turns. It doesn't take long. Hiromi starts twitching and convulsing, and Suzuki bolts on instinct. Running blind, he spots a man with an axe in the distance and goes toward him hoping for help, but the man is already a zombie, and Suzuki gets tackled almost immediately, his gun knocked out of reach. Hiromi saves him. She's fully turned now, but not in the way anyone expected. With one punch, she launches the zombie, attacking Suzuki an absurd distance through the air. She's clearly inhuman now, faster, stronger, completely transformed, but she's gentle with Suzuki specifically. Like some part of her original self is still intact underneath it all. Whatever Hiromi is now, Suzuki decides he'd rather travel with her than without her. He takes her with him. Days of walking later, after scavenging a shopping cart along the way, the two of them reach a small town at the base of Mount Fuji, already devastated, bodies everywhere. While searching the wreckage for supplies, Suzuki is jumped by another zombie. A passing survivor saves him just in time, part of a small group that's built a foothold nearby. With more zombies closing in fast and no real weapons to speak of, the group barely manages to escape with their lives, losing a couple of people along the way until survivors on a rooftop overhead deliberately make noise to redirect the horde, buying everyone enough time to climb to safety. That rooftop is the group's safe zone, a small, tense community led by a man named Yura, who immediately takes an interest in Suzuki's one valuable asset, his shotgun. Once they settle in, an older survivor explains something strange happening with certain zombies on the street below. Some retain whatever obsession defined them before they turned. One just keeps jumping endlessly, like he's still chasing a personal best. It's unsettling, and it's a hint that this outbreak has layers nobody fully understands yet. Supplies on the roof are running low, so the group plans a run to a nearby mall. Yura wants Suzuki's shotgun for the trip. Suzuki refuses outright. In a world like this, the gun is the only real leverage he has. Yura doesn't take no for an answer. He has his men grab Hiromi as a hostage to force Suzuki's hand. It backfires immediately. Hiromi is not an easy hostage to control. In the struggle, her blindfold slips off, revealing her fully mutated eyes, and the entire group panics. Yura shoots her with a crossbow bolt. In the chaos, the others wrestle the shotgun away from Suzuki, and in an instant changeover of power, a man named Sango ends up holding it instead, immediately positioning himself as the group's new de facto leader. Yura is furious and powerless to do anything about it. Hiromi survives the bolt wound. The mall run goes ahead as planned. Some of the group stays behind to keep the rooftop zombies distracted while the rest head out. Inside the mall, it's pitch black. Yura uses the darkness to slip away from the group unnoticed. The lights eventually flicker on, revealing a fully stocked warehouse everyone celebrates, completely unaware that Yura is setting something up behind the scenes. Then the mall's alarm horn blares across the building. It's not an accident, it's Yura's doing, deliberately drawing every zombie in the area straight toward them. One person gets bitten almost instantly as the horde floods in. Sango fires off shots that mostly miss. Trying to escape in every direction only reveals more zombies blocking every exit. They lose several more people in the scramble, all while Yura watches the entire massacre play out from a security monitor, and it becomes clear this wasn't just a distraction. He wants them all dead. Back at the rooftop safe zone, things get worse at the exact same time. That obsessive jumping zombie from earlier finally reaches the building, and once he's up there, he goes into a full killing spree, wiping out almost everyone except for 2 survivors. One of them scrambles for the radio to call for help. Suzuki, hiding in a closet during the mall chaos, hears the call but is in no position to act until a zombie finds him in his hiding spot and bites down on his arm. He manages to kill it with a fire extinguisher in the struggle and checks himself for a wound. Terrified, but his watch took the brunt of the bite, sparing him. He immediately radios back that he's coming, grabs gear, and heads for the parking lot, scattering food on the ground to distract a cluster of zombies on his way through, picking up a dropped weapon as he goes. Meanwhile, the survivor carrying Hiromi runs into Yura, who offers to drive them both out in exchange for nothing except his hand is visibly bleeding. He's been bitten too, and he's hiding it. Realizing what's about to happen, the survivor makes the call to ditch him and keep running, with Yura chasing close behind as he turns. Suzuki catches up just in time and takes him down before he can reach them. They link up with Sango, only to find themselves boxed in zombies pouring in from both directions with nowhere left to run. It's a full last stand. Suzuki checks his ammo. Under 100 rounds left, and Hiromi, still recovering, isn't able to help this time. It's all on him. With Hiromi's encouragement, something in Suzuki finally clicks. He plants himself in the middle of the fight and starts firing with real precision for the first time in the entire film. 1 shot, 2 kills, reload, repeat, completely in the zone. Seeing this, the rest of the group finds the nerve to fight back too, going hand to hand since there aren't enough weapons to go around. A massive, heavily mutated zombie barrels toward them. Suzuki's headshot does nothing to slow it down, and it pins him to the ground before he can reload. Another zombie lunges in for the kill, but Suzuki's watch, the same one that saved his arm earlier, buys him just enough time to grab a nearby gun and blast it back. He breaks free and finishes off the massive zombie with 1 more shot. The fight costs them. Both Yura and Sango die in the chaos before it's over. As the last zombie finally drops, Suzuki allows himself 1 second to breathe until something falls from the sky directly into their safe zone. He immediately knows this one is different. With shaking hands, he counts his remaining bullets, only 2 left. The zombie charges. His first shot misses. It gets back up, weaving unpredictably to dodge a clean shot, and his second shot misses too. Out of ammo, panicking, he spots 1 stray bullet on the ground near a corpse and dives for it. At the same moment the zombie lunges again. Suzuki wins the race, loads the round, and fires, and for a moment it looks like it's finally over. Then it gets back up 1 more time, and this time it's not coming for Suzuki. It turns toward the 2 surviving women behind him. Suzuki steps in and delivers the final blow himself, ending it for good. The group looks at him differently now. The man who spent the entire ordeal doubting himself, hesitating, failing to act like the hero he always imagined being in his own comics, finally became exactly that when it actually mattered. By the end, the three of them, Suzuki, Hiromi, and the surviving woman, drive off together toward Mount Fuji, leaving the wreckage of Tokyo behind them. Did Suzuki earn that title by the end, or was he just lucky enough to survive? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss the next recap. See you in the next one.